I used to think my life was pretty okay. Same cafes, same conversations, same shows on repeat, same complaints about how next year will be different. But if you had watched my life from the outside, it would have looked like a rerun season. New calendar, same storyline. Different job titles, same stress. Different relationships, same arguments. Different goals, same ghosting of my own plans. That's what a comfort zone really is. It's not a soft couch, it's a decorated cage. It whispers, stay here, no risk, no humiliation, no failure. And it sounds kind right up until you realize it's also saying no growth, no new story, no real future. Here's the part that hit me hardest. If the lesson isn't learned, the experience gets recycled. Life will keep handing you the same pattern with new characters until you finally change the script. In this video, I want to show you how I started destroying my own comfort zone on purpose, so 2026 doesn't become just another season of the same show. My turning point didn't come from a motivational quote. It came from looking at my own mess like a detective instead of a victim. I realized chaos was not random, it was a trail of clues. So I ran what I now call the Rerun Audit. For 30 days, I watched myself like a case study. No judgment, just ruthless honesty. You can do the same. Grab a notebook or a notes app and answer a few uncomfortable questions every night. When did I escape into something numbing today? It might be scrolling, food, gossip, gaming, or even overworking. The tool doesn't matter, the motive does. Where did you numb instead of face? When did I top out the second things stopped being exciting? Maybe you abandoned a new habit after day 4. Maybe you stopped writing the minute the sentence got hard. Maybe you bailed on a conversation that was getting honest. Those exits are your comfort zone in action. When did I say yes just to avoid tension? Agreeing to tasks you hate, staying in rooms that drain you, letting other people's priorities overrule yours, that's comfort disguised as being nice. As I wrote these down, a pattern appeared. My random chaos wasn't random at all. It always showed up in the same situations, when I felt exposed, when progress slowed, when I risked being judged. The invisible cost is brutal. Every small, comfortable choice feels harmless in the moment. One more episode, one more delay, one more excuse, but they stack into thousands of tiny self-betrayals. You don't just lose time, you lose trust in yourself. 5 years go by and you're older, more tired, and secretly less convinced you'll ever change. The Rerun Audit doesn't fix that overnight, but it rips the mask off. Once you see your personal pattern of escape, you can't pretend it's just how life is anymore. You have to admit, this isn't fate, this is a script, and you're the one reading it. Once I saw the pattern, the next step was obvious and awful. I had to move toward the things I'd been dodging. Not the dramatic stuff, no skydiving, no quitting everything overnight, but the small specific discomforts that made my stomach twist. I started with micro-discomforts. I stayed 5 extra minutes in conversations where I used to politely escape. I raised my hand in meetings to share an idea instead of letting it die in my head. I went alone to a workshop where I knew nobody and refused to hide behind my phone. None of that sounds heroic, but every time I did something that made me slightly anxious, I was sending my brain a new message. We can survive this. That's how you retrain a nervous system wired for avoidance. You can pick your own micro-discomforts. Initiate a difficult but necessary conversation instead of rehearsing it in your head for months. Sign up for a class where you are a beginner again. Share a piece of your work online where someone could actually see it. The imposter voice will scream, mine did. You're not ready, you'll look stupid. People who really know what they're doing never struggle like this. But here's the truth I had to swallow. Everyone is winging it somewhere. The people you admire, they just stayed in the discomfort long enough for competence to catch up. Your job is not to look impressive during this phase. Your job is to be honest. You are supposed to be bad at new things. If you can tolerate that awkward, shaky version of yourself, you will outlast the majority of people who quit just to avoid feeling clumsy. Destruction alone isn't enough. If you tear down the old comfort zone and don't build anything in its place, you just end up exhausted and ungrounded. I learned quickly that I needed inner scaffolding, structures inside my day that would hold me up when motivation disappeared. The first beam of that scaffolding was a simple principle: discipline is peace. I used to think discipline meant white-knuckling my way through life. Now I see it as pre-deciding so I don't have to argue with myself every 5 minutes. The more decisions you make in advance, the quieter your mind becomes. One of the tools that helped me was the 5-second rule. When I caught myself hesitating, getting out of bed, starting a task, sending a message, I'd count down: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, move. No debate, no negotiation. It sounds childish. It works because it cuts off the spiral. Every time I moved at 0, I collected one more piece of proof. I can trust myself to act even when I don't feel like it. Next came non-negotiable blocks. Not a perfect morning routine with 30 steps, just a few fixed anchors in my day. A specific time where I always work on one meaningful project, even for 15 minutes. A short, protected planning window where I decide the top 3 tasks that actually move my life forward. And a cutoff time at night where I stop cramming in just one more thing and let the day end. These structures made my life more predictable, not in a boring way, but in a stabilizing way. Chaos still happened, but it didn't own me. I had rails to come back to. You can build your own scaffolding. Choose one trigger where you'll use the 5-second rule. Pick one habit that becomes daily, no matter how small. 10 push-ups, 10 minutes of writing, 10 minutes of study. Protect one block of time like it's sacred. Rhythm outlasts hype. When your days have a rhythm, simple, repeatable, and non-negotiable, you stop relying on inspiration and start relying on proof. That's the moment your comfort zone starts to shrink and your life starts to expand. Regret is heavy. It doesn't show up all at once. It builds slowly in quiet questions like, what if I had actually tried? And how many years have I been saying the same thing? That weight is optional, but only if you stop replaying the same episode. You don't need a flawless master plan to change your life before 2026. You just need the courage to step out of the cozy cage, notice your rerun patterns, and do one small thing that scares you a little today, not when you feel ready. So, here's your move. Pick one discomfort you'll walk toward tomorrow. A call, a class, a conversation, a piece of work you'll finally publish. Then do it, even if your hands shake. If you're ready to stop living in reruns and start writing a new season, drop Rerun Killer 2026 in the comments and then go turn the handle on the next door.